philsgang.com.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
There's a lot of noise out there in the financial world. Bank failures, interest rates, bonds versus stocks. It's a lot. That's why it's important to find a voice of reason that can guide you through these volatile times. Phil Grande and philsgang.com is where you can find honest, helpful guidance to successful investing.
Get the knowledge and understand how the market really works.
And for a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, if you really want to make sense of this market, you can't be listening to the fake business news network. They will not tell you the truth. They're to get you excited, to make sure you go out and you're happy so you'll buy something. That's not what we do here at Phil's Gang. We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
This message is for those of you asking the question, what do you think the stock market is going to do?
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Well, you don't have to ask that question when you listen to my radio show because you're going to know exactly what the market's going to do. You're going to know if the market's going to go up, you're going to know if the market's going to go down, or the market's not going to go anywhere.
Phil Grande and philsgang.com takes the worry out of investing.
Pay attention to my show, philsgang.com. It's fun, entertaining, and you get the greatest information, especially stock picks.
That's philsgang.com. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
I think the economy remains pretty strong for the rest of the year.
It remains pretty strong for the rest of the year. Really? I don't see that. We have negative breadth. We have PE ratios that are insane. Earnings aren't driving the market. We have just a few stocks that have decent earnings. And they're saying they're not going to cut rates. And if they do cut rates, remember, do more QE, you're going to be adding inflation. In fact, I got an email from my gang members today that said, I'm confused as to what specific options the Fed has to keep the market from crashing. They keep on lowering rates. Every time it pulls back, starts correcting, they make sure it doesn't go into a crash. And that's really true. If you go look, they interfered with every rally or every correction. If you go from 2008 or 2009 up to 2018, that's where we had that first correction. 2018, we corrected 20%. Now, it was on its way to a full 2008 crash. Because remember, there was no earnings. This whole thing was QE. All they do is keep lowering rates and buy stocks. You know, give it to the CEOs to buy their own stocks to push the market up artificially. There's no earnings. There's no profits. Remember, the companies got slaughtered during that 2007, 2009. So anyway, so they interfered in 2018. So we ended up with another rally. So we go from, so as it was pulling back, they stopped it, and they jumped in, more QE, more zero rates, and they pushed the stock market up from that low of 2018. It went back up. It went back up about, I think it was around 28%, something like that, from low of 2018 up to February 2020. 45%. 45%. So what they did is it pulled back, and it was on its way down, and it was correcting itself. And again, it should have went down 40, 50%. They jump in, rally at 45% using zero rates. And those zero rates, remember, were the advantage of the CEOs, because they would just take their companies and buy their own shares. So that's how you got that rally. It wasn't earnings, wasn't profits. And then they rallied from that low of 2018 up to February 2020. And that was about from that that's right before COVID. And that rally, I think that rally was about about 45%. Then it drops. So on the way back down, remember, they couldn't hold that rally. They couldn't hold the rally from 2000 and let's go to 2012. 2012 to 2018, they couldn't hold that rally. So it started to correct 2018. It would have gone to a full-blown correction, crash, but they prevented it by, again, more stimulus, more zero rates, CEOs buy their shares. Ran it up again, February 2020, they couldn't hold that rally. It started to correct. It was correcting about 30%. It would have definitely gone down 50%, at least 50%, but they interfered with that rally too. I mean, that crashed too. more QE, more zero rates. So they rallied it from March 2020 up to January 2022. Now remember, that's 118%. So remember, you got 2018, they interfered with that crash, or that correction, which would go into a crash. They interfered into February 2020 correction, which was about 30%. They stopped it right there, and they rallied up 118%. And then the 118% couldn't hold either. So remember, these rallies aren't holding. The 2018 could not hold. And the 2020 could not hold. And that whole 118% from March 2020 to January 2022, it couldn't hold. What does that tell you? Those rallies aren't holding. So that pulled back 25%. It was in a correction. That would have gone down 50, 60%. But they jumped in again in October 2022. And they rallied the market up 28%. That couldn't hold. They pulled it back. So again, it started to pull back. Boom, they stopped it again. More QE. So every time, I don't care if it's the 2018, 2020, 2022, July 2023, every time they peaked, you peaked at 2018, peaked 2020, peaked 2022, peaked 2023, each one of them can't hold. What does that tell you? These rallies are artificial. There's no earnings behind them. It's all inflation. So remember, each correction, whether it's 20, 30, 40, 25%, they're interfered with by the Fed. Now, when I say they're interfered by the Fed with QE, the Fed, remember, they're interfered with by the Fed, which was Wall Street, because Wall Street controlled the largest banks. And the richest on Wall Street have the biggest shares of these banks, and the banks control the interest rates because they have the biggest shares of the Federal Reserve. So it always comes back to the guys on Wall Street decide what the rates are going to be. And you know damn well they want low rates. They want rallies. And one reason why they want rallies, because they're swearing, you know they are, that we'll never have another banking crash like we had in 2008. We don't care how much inflation we have to create. We don't care how much inflation Main Street has to absorb. We don't care how much we hurt Main Street. Our banks aren't going to go down. And that's what's going on. That's why our economy is in such trouble, because Wall Street is sacrificing Main Street. And that's why the Federal Reserve has to be separate, or you got to get rid of it. You can't have Wall Street controlling the Federal Reserve, controlling the interest rates, when all they want is rallies, all they want is zero rates, and then all it does is create more and more inflation. So here we are, everybody's all excited. Oh, look at us, we're at all-time new high. Wait a minute, we have negative breath. We have terrible PE ratios, extremely high. Our PE ratios are nuts. Do you know, when I hear people say, we're not going to have another crash, there won't be another crash, because they won't allow it. Maybe they won't allow it, but it's going to happen. Nobody's bigger than the market. Because think about this. Our stocks, the PE ratio, for those who don't know what that means, just think of the value of the stock, is 24. China is 8, their PE ratios. Germany's stocks are PE 12. Germany's a huge, they're the biggest economy in Europe. They're 12. France, PE ratios are 16. Japan, PE are 16. And Australia are 16. So you got China, Germany, France, Japan, and Australia. The largest economies in the world we're twice, our stocks are twice as high as theirs. It's insane. More when I get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What are you, nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grande can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com, where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
When I started this, they asked me, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. What does it take to be a successful investor in the stock market? Developing your skills and learning from an expert like Phil Grande and philsgang.com.
It doesn't have to be hard or complicated to learn how to invest in stocks properly. It's like anything else. You're going to golf, or you're going to learn how to play tennis, ski. You need to be with someone. Learn off of them, one-on-one. Now, that can be really expensive, cost thousands of dollars. But I have a program that you can join for 10 days free.
Go to philsgang.com and sign up for a free 10-day trial. Phil Grande has developed tools to teach you how to invest in stocks properly. Not only when to buy stocks, but how to sell stocks short.
85% of people in the market lose money. Get out of that group by just joining Phil's Gang.
Now you can learn to invest like a pro with a pro. Phil Grande. Take advantage of this special offer for a free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Try it. 10 days free.
That's philsgang.com.
philsgang.com.
Welcome Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
If you look at all the economic data, 14 million new jobs, I mean, corporate profits up, the stock market at record highs, things look pretty good. Inflation's coming down.
Unbelievable. Here, listen to this one.
Well, you've got to think about what the U.S. particularly has to offer, and that's part of the answer to the U.S. economy, is that our clients see, and market participants see the strength, the inherent strengths, the labor markets, the innovation, the AI.
Give me a break. What you're seeing is every other market, China, Germany, France, Japan, and Australia, our stock market is so overvalued. We have such a bubble. What would you call it? If we have PE ratios of 24 and China's at 8, Germany's at 12, France is 16, we're 24, remember? Australia's at 16. Why are our PE ratios that high? It's insane. It's called a bubble. It's another bubble. It's like the dot-com bubble. It's like the housing bubble. But they play it down. And they keep telling us how great our economy is, how great our jobs are. 14 million jobs. Wait a minute. Hold on. 10 million of the 14 million, those are jobs that are already in place. They double counted them. When they told everybody, they told 10 million people, go home. Go home. We can't get everybody sick here in the company. Go home. Work from home. Okay, come back. Come back. And what does Joe do? Little Joey does? Little Joey double counts them. Oh, those are brand new jobs. They never had a job before. His typical BS. So he has really 4 million jobs he created. But guess what? 3/4 of those jobs, or at least half those jobs, are lousy government jobs. Saddling us, Main Street, who are already dying with coffee at 30%, rent up 20%, groceries 34%, bacon 20%. We're already suffering. He wants us to pay their wages. That's what we do. If I hire somebody tomorrow, I pay them. If they don't produce to make their own pay, they're gone. But the government, what they do to make things look better than they are, they keep hiring and hiring and hiring. And it doesn't matter if they produce their own wage, because they don't. They don't. So you and I are stuck paying them. And worse, we're stuck paying their pensions, government pensions. So no, we have mostly government jobs. 4 million, most government jobs. Now, and this is amazing how they're saying, look, you can't tell me that you have a good, strong economy like they're saying when you have more banks failing in 2023, wiping out nearly $600 billion in assets compared to 2008, wiping out $373 billion in assets. So they're trying to tell us we have a good economy? When have you ever seen a good economy when we have a record number of banks failing? That's a good economy? When do you have a good economy? When personal debt is through the roof. 17 trillion. Why? Because the Senate Banking Committee and the House Bank Committee never did their job to make sure that Powell, or whoever's running the Fed side, would keep raising interest rates so people would stop spending so they wouldn't run up debt. That was their job. But they didn't do that. They didn't do that. And then our own national debt is up 34 trillion. In fact, our debt here in the United States, our debt, the government's debt, to what we produce, we can't pay our bills. The government can't pay its debt. In other words, debt, our debt to GDP, our ratio is so out of whack that every country, when you look at their ratio of debt to GDP, every country, except ours now, they produce enough goods to pay down their government debt. You should be around 65. The ratio should be about 65. Our ratio is like 115, 120, or 112. So we can't even pay our own debt down. Oh, so when was the last time the economy's doing well when we can't, the government can't pay down its own debt because we're not producing enough goods, because our productivity is down? I forget what the number is, but it's down to almost a historic number. Oh, that's okay though, right? That's a good economy. So going back to the problem we're having is this. When we had that housing crash, financial crash, back in 2007 to 2009, the market, remember, dropped 60%. This was after the dot-com crash. Then we had the next crash, and we went down 60%. The S&P was at 666. So what'd they do? They decided to rally the market to 5,000. We went from, think about this. How do you go from 666 on the S&P to 5,000? That's a 650% increase, but not with profits, not with earnings. No profits, no earnings, all PE. All QE, all QE. Keep printing money, keep printing money. Then take all that money and then give it to the banks, and then the banks will loan it to the CEOs, and the CEOs will get the money at zero, and the CEOs will take the money and buy their own shares and keep pushing up their share price without profits. Oh, that's a strong economy? And so when you sit at the end of the day and you look at what's our PE ratio, 24. What's Germany, the biggest producer in Germany, in Europe? Germany, 12? We're twice? Oh my God, we got a bubble. But nobody talks about this. Oh, there's no bubble. Phil's crazy. There's not going to be a crash. So the problem is, every time we have a pullback, every time we're ready to finally get a correction, to correct all this craziness, to drive this market down, every time they stop it. They prevent it. They prevent every 2008 crash. They prevent it. So they're not preventing it. All they're doing is stalling it. They're kicking the can down the road. And who takes the hit because of that? Main Street. They take the hit, the inflation hit. Wall Street loves inflation. More when they get back. Join my gang, free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grande.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. You know, here at Phil's Gang, we're a little different than all the other educational platforms because we're not a brokerage firm. So all these brokerage firms that tout that they're educational platforms, that's, again, they're not focusing on education. They're focusing on commissions. That's where their money comes from, commissions, selling you a stock that they first buy, mark it up to you, and sell it to you. That's what they're focusing on. We're different because we're not a brokerage firm. We focus totally on educating you how to buy stocks, how to sell stocks short, and most important, how does the market work? And again, we have a pack of liars that are sitting there on these financial TV shows. They just lie. I mean, how can they say, get this here,
if you look at all the economic data, 14 million new jobs, I mean, corporate profits up, the stock market at record highs, you know, things look pretty good.
Things look pretty good. So how could things look pretty good when we have negative breath in the market? Where, just take the NASDAQ. For every one stock that's railing, we have 1.9 or 2 stocks going down. The PE ratios, I just went over them. We're twice as high as Germany, which is the strongest economy next to us. China's at 8, we're at 24. So who do you think is going to have a crash first? Australia at 16, Japan and France all at 16, Germany at 12, or do you think us at 24? See, today a PE ratio is at 23. But when you adjust it for inflation, here's what they don't want you to know. When you adjust it for inflation, and let's take the past 10 years that they've been pumping this QE and zero rates, the PE ratio is 34 adjusted for inflation. That's even higher when you adjust it for inflation than when we got the 1929 crash. So if you had the 1929 crash, you put it right next to us. Our bubble right now, our inflation, okay, adjusted inflation, over the past, say, 10 years, our PE is 34. That's higher than the PE of 1929 that was adjusted for inflation. Do you understand what I'm saying? When the crash in 1929 started, remember, it didn't end to 1932. It went down 90%. So think about that. So we're in worse shape now than in 1929. Remember, stocks didn't return to the peak of 1929. It took 25 years. When this crash happens, it's going to be huge. But nobody cares. Because why? Who controls the Federal Reserve? Who controls the interest rates? The banks on Wall Street. They're the biggest shareholders. Wall Street doesn't care about inflation. They love inflation. They become incredibly wealthy. Their artwork, their vineyards, their agricultural land, their diamonds, come on. They love inflation. So just know that. So what do? Just sit around and go in a corner right now? No, do what we've been doing. Make sure you're buying the stocks like what we did. We did very well with Apple and Microsoft and Google and all those 7 stocks. We did terrific. But we started to rotate out of them because, again, like we teach our members, you got to look forward. Everything's looking forward. And we could see what's coming. So we started to rotate, and thank God we did, and out of the speculative stocks, out of the growth stocks, okay, into value stocks. Our GE is up 35%. Our American Express is up 30%. JP Morgan's up about, our JP Morgan's up about 22-30%. So we don't sit around here and not buy stocks, but we make sure we're in the right stock group that has the strength. So think about this. So when the crash in 1929 started, as I said, it took till, 25 years to 1954 before it recovered. That can happen again. Same thing can happen today. So people don't even want to think about that. And they don't talk about it on CNBC. They don't talk about it on the financial shows. It's hush, hush, hush. So for those who say the stock market will not crash, remember, we're worse off now than in 1929. You don't have to believe me. I get a lot of emails. They feel you're wrong. You've been wrong. The market's not going to crash. We'll see. We'll see. Remember, it takes a long time. As I went over in the beginning of the show, every time this market corrected, they wouldn't let it go into a healthy crash. Every time. They turned the 45 drop, the correction, they would turn it around and they rebounded. It was going down 45%. Boom! They keep running it back up. Look what they did. 45%. It started to crash, then they rebounded 118%. It was going down, crashing, stopped it, went up 42%. So every time you had a crash, it went up 45. A crash going down, then they stopped it, rallied up 118. Crash going down, they interfered, rallied up 42. So every time we were having a correction, they'd rally up 45, 118, 42%. And that is all inflation because it's all QE. It's all printed money that destroys your dollar. So the answer is, how can they continually do this with the tremendous inflation? Are they just going to keep doing this forever? Every time the market drops, they're just going to stop it, turn around and rally it? Yeah, that's what they've been doing. Because Congress doesn't care. So what you do is just make sure you're with the best group of stocks that have relative strength. I mean, as I said, the stocks that we've been in, American Express, all of our stocks, and we also been in a lot of good ETFs, great ETFs. Industrial, XLI, that's been doing fantastic. SKLF, that's been doing fantastic. That's been doing great. So in JP Morgan, we've done great in JP Morgan. We've done great in ULTA, Ulta. We've done terrific in that too. So we got some great stocks, but at the same time, we're shorting. Intel is a great short. But right now, what's happening is the volume on, right now, remember, the average volume is around 75 million a day on Wall Street. Do you know volume is going now between 45 million, like 45, 55 million? Why? Why is it drop from 75 to 45 million or 75 to 50 million? Because the institutions know what I'm saying is true. So we're going to have a great opportunity. Every time they turn around and the market starts to correct, they interfere with it. QE, go in and drive the market up 42%, 118%, 45%. We're going to be in GE that went up 35%. We're going to be in American Express that went up 30%. We're going to be in JP Morgan went up 30%. We're going to be in the best stocks. But we're not going to be in the tech stocks. They're on their way down. People are still buying the tech stocks. You know where the real damage is? They're buying the stocks that are gapping up, the tech stocks that are gapping up. Are they nuts? Those are bear traps. Bear traps. So inflation, remember, at 9%. Remember we had that big rally from March 2020 up to January 2022, up 118%. And remember, inflation followed 9%. So here's the real problem. They never tell you on Wall Street when they're reporting earnings, that 9%, every time inflation goes up, profits go up. So profits are distorted. Profits have been distorted for 10 years. For 10 years. That's why the market's going to be even a more difficult crash, because the profits are so distorted. But that's okay. We'll just short when that happens. In the meantime, we'll stay long the best stocks. Join my gang for 10 days free. Be in the best stocks.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What are you, nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grande can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com, where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. As the new year approaches, make a resolution to challenge yourself to become the best investor you can be. Phil Grande can take your trading to a whole new level. Innovative stock market investing tools and the experience of over 50 years combined to give you the edge in controlling your financial future. As a Phil's Gang member, you're taught the essential strategies of investing using stock charts, training videos, and seminars. It's information Wall Street doesn't want you to know. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang, and you'll understand how the market works. I mean, we've been an educational platform for nearly 25 years. 25 years we've been doing this. And again, we're not brokers, so we're not focusing on, hey, we got to buy a stock first and sell it to you. I mean, that's how the brokerage industry is today. It's no more brokerage. It's they buy it first and mark it up to you. That's okay. It's all right. It's the business they're in. But right now, with this market where it is now at 5,000, and with the inflation, see, who's getting a hit of all? See, what drove us up 650% from 666 to 5,000, from 2009 to 2024. What drove us up was QE. One of the most dangerous things. It used to be illegal. So this entire rally is built on zero rates. And when you can't when the rates went up, remember, they increased rates. We never seen a Federal Reserve increase rates by 525 points from March 2022 to I think March 2023. I'm pretty close. We've never seen, that's 525 points. And they're trying to tell you the economy's wonderful? The economy looks pretty good? What are they, nuts? This is crazy. The other big problem we have is our debt and our deficits. For God's sakes, debt and deficits is like stage 4 cancer to an economy. Oh, but they don't want to talk about that either. All they want to talk about is buy NVIDIA, buy Apple, buy Amazon, buy NVIDIA. If it was up to Wall Street and these financial shows on TV, you'd all leave your job and just buy NVIDIA. Why would you do anything else? Take all the money out of your 401k, buy NVIDIA. Take all the money out of your pension, buy NVIDIA. Quit your job. I mean, they got people convinced that NVIDIA will never come down again. So they're going to continue to do what they've been doing, trying to prevent a banking crash. I want to see how they're going to do that come March 11th. When it comes March 11th, I mean, they're facing, right now, there's $650 billion in losses, these regional banks. They're going to have to record those losses in March 11th unless the Fed decides to kick the can down the road, print more money, more QE, here we go, okay, and to extend the loans. If they do that, you're going to see gasoline go up, you're going to see your bread go up. See who's getting, but remember, the guys who are going to make this decision on Wall Street are going to get very rich if they do that. Because remember, every time inflation goes up, they're making money, both in the stock market and both in all their other assets. So there's two different playing fields here. And that's why it's always been a bad idea to have a Federal Reserve that is not independent. It's not independent. It's controlled by Wall Street. So debt and deficits, you keep spending more than the tax revenue, and you refuse to raise rates. You refuse to cut Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, defense. You got to cut something, but if you refuse, then inflation continues to go up. Debt and deficits are horrible because you destroy everything. You destroy our energy drilling. They destroyed our being independent, obviously, oil independent. They created an inverted yield curve for us. 99% of people don't even know what that means, inverted yield curve. And, oh, you know what I love? They tell us how we have such a great economy. Well, if that's true, then why is it our 10 leading economic indicators, employment, industrial production, consumer spending, inflation, home sales, home builder, construction spending, manufacturer demand, retail sales are all negative. That we never had at one time 10 leading economic indicators coming negative for 20 continuous months. Never. And remember, your debt and deficits, not only do we have this large national debt, and we have we have our yields, okay? I mean, our rising inflation. We have the worst earnings in 25 years, but you wouldn't know it the way they talk. We have our worst economic GDP growth. And again, all because of the largest national debt. So, look, you hear me talk about this every day, about how bad the economy is. But I want you to understand, as long as they keep rigging the market to go up, my members are buying stocks. We're not sitting here shorting. We're buying stocks. We never fight the tape. But here's what we do know. Because we look out so far, we can see what's coming. Why is it that they raised rates 525 basis points? Think about when he raised the rates, this idiot, Powell. But it wasn't his decision, it's Wall Street. They should have been raising rates 525 points starting in February of 2020. They should at least start it into February 2020. The best time to have done it was 2018, since we had 10 years of zero rates and the inflation was getting terrible. That's where he should have started. So why is it they waited to March 2022 to raise rates 5.25? And here's the kicker. It's not going to do anything. The 5.25 won't do a thing. It's not going to affect anything because it takes 18 months for that rate hike, those rate hikes, to start fighting inflation. So for 18 months, we're wide open. We're like a target on a bull's butt. What can go wrong in the next in 18 months, 15 months, 12 months? A lot. So you want to make sure you're protecting yourself with your stocks, that you're in the right stocks, you're in the right group, and God's sakes, why don't you want to learn how to sell short? Or at least why don't you learn how the market works so that you don't sit there blind and going, oh, everything's fine. I hear on TV, everything's just fine. I mean, when I hear this, I got, 5 air sickness bags next to me because this is the stuff that's flying around, without wings.
Well, you've got to think about what the U.S. particularly has to offer, and that's part of the answer to the U.S. economy, is that our clients see and market participants see the strength, the inherent strengths.
Where's the strength? Would somebody tell me where the strength is? So you call, a market is on its way down 30%, and then you stop that crash and you turn around and drive it 50%? That's strength? Sure, if it was on earnings, but it's not on earnings. Not on profits. It's just pure crap. Print money and go in again and give the money to the CEOs to buy their own shares, to push the stock price up. The bubble is huge. The bubble's huge. And everybody, few even understand the inverted yield curve. Don't have any idea. And why do you think the presidents, think about this, the biggest threat, every president except this dope we have in office now, they always look at inflation as their biggest threat to our economy, to our system of government, to our national security. There's nothing worse than inflation, but he doesn't care about it. He doesn't care about it. Presidents always feared inflation. And for those people that every time this market dips and you're buying on the dips, you got to be nuts. Stop buying on the dips, especially when it's a downtrend. What you got to do is make sure you're always in the best stocks. Those are called relative strength stocks. Those are stocks that have good volume. Those are stocks that when the market's going down, they're not going down, they're going sideways, and then when they break out big. Look, join our gang, philsgang.com, join tonight, and we're going to teach you what the best stocks are, going down and going up.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to